I'm back. Today we are making a mask and I do not want to design it, so I'm just gonna jump right in. I guess we'll see if this is an absolutely terrible idea. I forgot to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Asher and welcome to my channel. I filmed this video a long time ago, which is why my hair looks the way it used to, but I really hope you guys still watch it and still enjoy, and new content is coming soon. I'm basically in the middle of filming a new World of Mr. Plant episode, and I need to make a mask that is kind of a haggard, old man type mask with a ton of wrinkles that's supposed to also be a daisy. So a haggard old man flower. To make a mask, what you're gonna need is a box of random stuff that you can use to color and cut and draw, all that good stuff. Hair gel, I guess. You're also gonna need a box, and this goes on your head, and that's what makes the mask hold in place. And you're gonna need a bunch of colored paper. Unfortunately, however, today I'm not using a lot of colors, so this paper is probably not gonna be used. It's also good to have some other kind of cardboard so you can kind of create a support. I picked out the colors I want to use. I basically want to use this brown because I feel like it's kind of like a little dull and lifeless. And then I also really want to use this sort of faded yellow. This background is kind of limiting. I wish it was so much bigger, but it's fine. First step is I'm basically just gonna tape these pieces of paper together to create the mask. My taping job is already so bad. Like, what is this? I also have to make 2 of these because I'm not gonna spoil it, but I do need 2 versions of this mask. So I taped it together like this. It's not perfect and you can see the seams in some parts, which is really bothering me. I'm really excited about this Mr. Plant episode, however. I think it's gonna be really fun, and I do like, it's been too long since I've made a World of Mr. Plant episode. I even feel like the last one I made wasn't really a full episode. I do have to make them a little shorter now because I also post them to YouTube Shorts compared to just Instagram and TikTok. And on Instagram and TikTok, the limit you can have is an hour and, not an hour, is 1 minute and 30 seconds. But on YouTube, the limit you can have is a full minute, so it's a much less time. Already, this second tape job is so much better, which is awesome. It's funny because this box of random coloring and cutting things came with me all the way from my mom's house when I originally moved out, and it's still going strong. There's also a makeup brush in there, which got in there because sometimes I use makeup on my masks, but it's kind of funny when you're looking at the box, it's like, why is all this random stuff in here? I also have scissors that you can't even really use to cut paper. It's like, it's basically just a box of random stuff. It's been too long since I've made a mask. To create the right head shape, I actually use a frying pan and I trace it on the paper. So that's kind of a fun fact. Now you can see on here I have a near perfect circle. Obviously it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. Now the second one, I'm gonna do it, but I'm doing it slightly differently. I have managed to do a lot this year, and that's been very exciting. I've been doing a lot of stop motion, and I kind of feel like this video is gonna be sort of a return to the basics. I'm debating if I want to make this head smaller. The 2 versions of the head have been cut out, and I think I am gonna make them smaller. I like it when the heads are smaller than an actual human's heads, because then it's kind of like, well, how did this monster manage to get it to work? And it's pretty cool. If you've made it this far in the video and aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing. My channel's engagement has really gone down ever since I got sick, and I'm trying to get it back to what it was. Now I actually want this mask to be the same size as Mr. Plant's mask, so I did a little tracing of Mr. Plant's mouth and eyes, so I could basically try to put the mouth and eyes of this mask in the same place. Making eyes is one of my favorite parts of making a mask, and this time around I really want to make them perfect. Now I actually only need to make 1 set of eyes, so that's pretty nice. I'm gonna layer pink and black and make the black kind of super big and have super big pupils, because I haven't done that before. He's supposed to be a really old man, older than any old person you've ever seen before, is kind of the goal. Like these are kind of freaking me out a little bit. I'm also gonna do these tiny little white eye shines in the middle, and I think this will make some pretty creepy eyes. I did this little red around the edge of the eyes, and I think this is going to help sort of give it the vibe I want it to have. All right, let's put this all together. It's funny how the whole time I'm doing this, breakfast has just been lying on the floor. Breakfast! Sitting on the papers like a little gentleman. With the two different masks, I did the eyes a little differently, because on this one, he has his eyes, and on this one, he doesn't. I basically tore the paper and then colored it in with red, and I think it looks really good. Breakfast! I literally took my eyes off this red paper for 2 seconds, and Breakfast already destroyed it. Breakfast! I want the mouth to be super gummy. I want the teeth to be super gummy. I want there to be like a really gummy quality about it all, so I'm gonna try to capture that. It's interesting how much work goes into these masks, even though I'm probably not gonna be using them past just this one video. It's kind of sad. Breakfast! This is a rabbit animal! So I'm gonna tape the gums on the top and bottom for this one, and then I'm gonna just create a full gum mouth for the other one. I don't know where my head's at today, but I keep taping everything on wrong. So clearly, yeah. There! With this other mask, I think I'm gonna do sort of a circular mouth that's just red, and I'll then add in the teeth and everything. This is the darkest red I have, and I do wish it was a little darker colored, but it's fine. The other thing that's tough about this mask is I don't want it to look too much like a kid, and I worry that because of where I placed the eyes and how I did them, it's just gonna look like a child. Like, look, this mask is so cute. If I can move these eyes up, I might just move them up just a tiny bit more. If you have a large forehead, you apparently look younger, although that isn't the case with me, so I feel like that's already a little better. I think I might make the teeth this bluish gray color. Now I want the teeth to be very small, especially for the mask. Normally I would use a glue stick to glue these teeth into place, but I'm actually gonna have to use hot glue, because unfortunately I am all out of glue sticks and I will not be going to the craft store today. I just had like the worst 30 minutes ever where my camera kept having an error message and these masks were being so hard to make, but I do think I glued all the teeth. So here is the mask, the first version of the mask, and here is the second. I feel like these look pretty cool. So I think I want to add a nose next. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use brown, and I'm gonna do kind of like a little like dot nose. I kind of like that. I don't think it came out exactly how I wanted it to, but I think it's fine and it looks like a nose. Now for the wrinkles, I do want to go kind of all out. I want to make sure that they look really good and that it looks really old. So I'm gonna try to do that now. Alright, the actual faces are done. I only have the materials to make one version of the set of petals, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to reuse the petals for both masks when I'm filming. Alright, so I got these gray petals, and then I'm gonna cut the yellow ones now. I'm gonna do 4 of each, and I'm gonna kind of interlace them. This month it feels like the only thing that's kept me going is the fact that I get to create art for my job. So I have you guys to thank for that. Thank you so much for constantly watching my stuff and caring. It really means the world to me. Well, this is kind of held together by just tape, but it actually does kind of work. I'm just gonna reinforce it a little bit, and then I'm gonna use the cardboard. All right, it's all done. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Wow! I think this came out so good. I'm so happy with it. I like how it looks so old and decrepit. I like that a lot. I love the detail, I think is really cool. I wish I had a little more tape, and I do wish it had a cardboard backing. And I wish I could use it for multiple videos, but it's okay, it'll be great for this one. And now here is the video I used it in.
Mr. Plant's neighbor. Mr. Plant had had a neighbor as long as he lived, but had never seen them.
We should introduce ourselves. I heard they're old and I love old people. And I can make cookies.
Mr. Plant preferred to stay away from people, but he did want to return the letter.
Daisy,
Mr. Plant had never seen someone so old.
is that you, my new daughter?
Looking at his neighbor, Mr. Plant felt a scary sense of familiarity.
All dressed up for the prom.
The neighbor was dead, and it didn't seem like anyone was coming.
Mr. Plant, I brought cookies. Did you meet your neighbor?
Mr. Plant didn't have the heart to tell Argos,
Can I meet him?
but what could he do? Next time a neighbor moved in, they introduced themselves early.
Thank you so much for supporting me. You guys are awesome. You're literally the best. And I'm sending so much love your way, and have an amazing rest of your week.